Hello everyone, I'm here today with a new process video and I'm working on some more photos from New York. And as you can see, I've got Tiffany lamps here. I went to the Tiffany lamp exhibit at the New York Historical Society. Both my friend that I was visiting and I wanted to do it, so we went over, and if you got a chance to see it when you were there, you were lucky. It was amazing. It's no longer there, so I'm really glad I was there at a time when I was able to see it, because it's one of the best exhibits I've ever seen, especially if you're a stained glass person and you just like that artistic style. It was very interesting, very well done, very elegant. It was a great sort of a late morning activity for us. So what I've got going here is a double page layout, 2 3x4s here, and I've got a full 4x6 on this side, but I want it to be on a 4x8 background. So this will be the bigger challenge, is figuring out what kind of background am I going to use, how is it going to work with these multiple patterns I've got going here, multiple colors. I've got both sort of a fuchsia and red, plus there's always the green. So I have to figure out what's going to match, and then what can I add to this that won't overwhelm it. The first major thing that I think I'm going to do is to pull out my papers here. I have specialty papers, which are things like foiled paper, vellum, acetate, just anything that makes it kind of not a standard piece of paper. And then I also have my 6x8s in here. And because I'm looking to do a 4x8 background, I would much rather cut into a 6x8 piece of paper than cut into an entire whole piece if possible. Plus, I just need to use up these 6x8s. A lot of them I got in kits, and they're not necessarily things I would use all the time because I didn't pick them out. They came in a kit, so I want to use them because I have kind of a lot. I mean, I have gone through quite a bit of it, but there's still a significant amount there. So I just want to start looking at all this stuff and see, is there anything here that is subtle enough that might work with those lamps? If not, then I'll go into some other papers. I did end up finding a few things that might work, and it's a mix of 6x8 and 8x8, which I kind of almost forgot I had. And the 8x8s are vellum. 6x8s are just regular paper. So here's one that I found, and I think that bright yellow does bring out the yellow tones in here. I could also soften this by matting this probably on white, just to have a more subtle background so it's not quite so in your face, but I love that it brings out a bright color. And then I could maybe use a yellow embellishment here, so I'm not opposed to doing that. And then one of the other ones I found is this pink. Now the problem with this is it matches very well with these flowers. Sorry, glare there, so hopefully you can see. It's a good match. However, it doesn't match as well with what's over here. So that's the only problem there, is I'd love it with this. If it were just this, maybe it'd be okay, but I'm not so sure that this is the winner because it doesn't go so much all the way across the page. And then I have, this was one of my 8x8 pieces of vellum. It's got almost like a herringbone type pattern in it, but it's very subtle. And when you put this on there, it still gives you that nice yellow, but it's more subtle than the other one for sure. And I love that it's got a softness to it because of the vellum aspect. And again, this looks good with all three. So I am definitely considering this one. I would have to cut it down a bit, but that's fine. And then the other one is also a yellow tone, but it's more gold. This would also work with the deeper colors that are happening here. It actually looks really good with this one. So I feel like of those four, 3 of them are actually really good choices, and perhaps not that pink kind of mauve color, probably not that one. So I think it's going to end up being yellow in some form. It's just a matter of how dark do I want it, and then what kind of pattern am I okay with given the busyness in the glass. All right, well, in order to figure this out, I kind of had to do a little reconnaissance mission. I couldn't remember which photos would probably come next after this. I went and looked at those, and actually the tones in there are much more this shade. Now that doesn't mean I'm going to use this on there, but it's more this color. So I don't want to have that back to back. So I think it's going to be this one. One of the lovely things about choosing this option too is that because it was 8 by 8, I'm only cutting it in half. I still have a whole other piece I can use on something else. Maybe it'll appear again in this album, maybe not, but at least I still have a good chunk of it left, and I love it when that happens. So now I've cut this one down, I can get this out of the way, and now I can move on. And I did want to just point out that in case you like that paper, it's made by Pretty Little Studio, and it's called Jasmine. Now that I've cut this down and I can see these next to each other, I'm in love with this background. It really is the best choice, I think, but I do definitely need to find something yellow, I think, over here. So that's job number one now, is to find something for there. But I also have a lot of dead space here. So I think I want to maybe move this down a little bit and find a larger embellishment that I can overlap there. That might be a little bit of a challenge because I'm not sure that I have anything that's sort of this refined and elegant in what I had picked out for my New York stuff. But that doesn't mean I don't have something, so I'm going to go on the hunt for that now. I did find something that I might use for this side. I'm not sure it would work over here. Maybe it would. But I'm looking at these stickers, and I have this one that just has a camera, and then the rest of this is green. And I could stamp something there. It would cover up part of this bottom, and I do have quite a bit of green here that would be okay. I guess it could work over here if I wanted to overlap. I'm just not sure, but I am going to hang on to these just in case. I did find one thing that I think I want to use, and I was looking for something green because there's green in all of this, and I like this one that says Story of Today, and it's quite elegant script, the font there. So I thought maybe if I just kind of do that at the top. It doesn't need a lot, but it would bring in some of that green, so I might go with that. I also decided to pull out some things that are turquoise or aqua because it is in this photo here. There's a little bit up top here, and then you also see it right here and here in this photo. So it's not a huge amount of color to work with, but that's okay, because we need to space out. We don't want everything super, super bold. So I have these. I'm gonna go through here and just see, is there anything in here that might work with what I've got going? In there, I did find this, and it says, "This was amazing," and that is accurate. So I think maybe if I layer this down here, these colors aren't that far off from each other though, so I feel like I need some kind of an embellishment that is maybe this color or the red or something. I was thinking maybe even blue, but no, I don't think blue would be right. So I need to look at that, and I still need to find something yellow for over here. I don't have that yet. So I feel like I still have a lot to do. I found two yellow things, but I'm not super sold on either of them. This one, I don't mind what it says, but the print is kind of, it's purple, and not this kind of purple, like it's a dark purple. And I feel like maybe that's a distraction. And then I just have this little tab here, which is fine, but it's kind of boring. I mean, I could just put it over the side. It is a little wide. I don't need to fill up the entire space. I'm okay if, I mean, maybe if I cut it to there, it wouldn't look as bad, but it's pretty wide this way, pretty tall there. So I don't know that I'm going to use either of those, but at least I have other options. I have a bag of miscellaneous chipboard that I just keep around. So I think I'm going to look through here and just see, is there anything in there? Because a lot of this, I kind of forget that I have it, and I forget to dig in here. So if this is an excuse for me to go in there and find some stuff, then great. Well, who knew that finding something that I like in yellow was going to be such a challenge? I pulled out some more stuff, and here I was thinking about this sticker that says Obsessed, and I could put it right down here. But again, I'm just not totally sold on it. But then here I found this chipboard that just says Yes. And it's a pretty close yellow. It's not perfect, but I'm wondering if I could either just put it over the base or off to the side or something, but I do like that more than the other things I have found, I think. So I'm going to try that and see what I think of it. Well, when I tried this chipboard sticker, I hated it. It didn't fit totally over the round part, and then to have round and round like next to each other, it looked weird. I did not like it. So I ended up just going back to this one and decided I would be okay with the fact that this was purple. It actually kind of blends into this background. It's not too far off from this bluish purple here, so it's fine. And then I glued down the two sayings that I had, and then I think I just need to find one more thing. Something in this color range, and or even a red still. Yeah, I haven't decided, but I think I'm just gonna like try to find an asterisk or something. I know I have a bunch of those from LA Studios, so I'll see what I can find. I think I'm going to use one of these asterisks. The color is sort of between a lot of these colors, so it's not perfect, but it sort of blends in between. The rest of these did not look right to me, and so I'm thinking it's going to be this one, because when you hold it up, again, it's not a perfect match, but it's close. It's kind of between this and this. And then it's a matter of where to put it. Would it be better up here? Overlapping a little bit. Whoops. No, don't stick. There. A little like that. I like that a little better. Maybe just angle it a little differently. That is better. I wonder if I need staples in here, or should I not and just leave it alone and let it be simple? Maybe that's what I'll do. I'll leave it as is. I can always go back and add staples in if I want, or add something else, but I do believe that in most cases less is more. So I think I'm just going to call this one done. Here's another one finished for New York. Thanks for watching.